Okay, so we're videotaping. I'm going to pan over and you can say hello.
Hello, Lee. I'm Sean.
And while we're at it, you haven't ever seen me. I'm Will. Hello, Lee. We are taking care of you and your carburetors.
What we'll do is, instead of all the email exchanges, just do a quick review as to what direction we're headed. I'll start off with the meat and potatoes, I guess, the machine work. I noticed you had sent some shafts, some throttle and choke shafts. If the flats and everything are cut at the right angle, we can utilize these without any problems. If not, we have some that are already made and go with these or those.
Beautiful work, but the shaft to butterfly alignment is so critical.
Correct. Now what we'll do is your bores are fairly clean, your throttle bores. They don't seem to have that much egg to them, so whatever they can do is to go in and clean out the bores to a minimal standard is fine. You always have to be careful with these Sandcast and die cast too, to the same extent, but more so sand, in terms of hitting pockets of sand. So if they're going in there and boring these out and they hit a pocket of sand, it's going to carry that grain, and all it takes is one grain, and it's just going to gouge everything up. So naturally we'll bush your throttle casings, clean out these bores, new butterflies will be made. From what I recall and have seen, each bore has a 13-degree inclination on the butterfly. Your ports for your idle air mixture screws aren't too bad. We'll probably plug those off and re-drill them. And same thing on the choke side. This is the piece that you had made, and what I had mentioned in my email, just for them to have to go in and align bore these for the choke shaft. Obviously clean this up for that plate, and overall it'd have to be cleaned up. You have to be drill and tapped for your different mounting points. It'll be a lot easier, particularly since we're going to a number 1 is what we need. We have 2 number 2s currently. Is for me just to use, where did I do it? Here we go. This will be just to replicate. This will be the fitting for the number 1 side. So what I'll do is just have them effectively bore this out on the original, bore it out oversized. Every other piece we can use off of a die cast series, and they may or may not have to clean this up. We'll have to wait and see in terms of alignment. I don't think they'll have to do much machining for the press and bushing side. The opposite side, what we're going to have to do is, this one's already, it hasn't been machined down. It's currently, I don't know, are you in alignment with this?
Yeah, that's great. I think
if you can see how it's already been machined down, I effectively need this side. So what I can have them do is make up a piece that'll fit over this, and it'll just basically be bonded in place with sleeve retainer. I don't believe they'll have to pin it or anything. Just be a press fit. And I don't see in your collection of parts one of these stop tabs. It's not the same as the die cast, but we can have one made relatively easily. So that should take care of the choke, your choke mechanism. And you already have the butterflies and these 2 plates here, so we should be good. Your injector nozzles, your jets for the injector nozzles, I see one's a 40, one's an 80. I think 40 is the correct size. We'll find out, and if we can't find another, then I can either drill it out or solder it up and drill it to the correct size, whichever one's dissimilar. These float bowl covers are the ones that you had made, and I believe either you had these made, looks like they were, and then sent to us. We can use either or, and you already have them tapped, drilled and tapped for this fitting, which only have the one. Will might be able to source it if you don't have any extras. And let's see, what else do I want?
Want to show me that fitting again?
Yeah, this one. This is obviously your fuel inlet. This is for your vent tube.
Okay.
right here.
All right. So that's the one inlet.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
In terms of getting these things in here staked correctly and everything, that's not a problem. Okay. Your fittings, what you have right here, I'm sure we've already discussed, is incorrect. The actual size tubing, I believe this to be 6 millimeter, that you have here is the same thing for here. And you'll notate the vacuum secondary cover actually comes up at an angle like this, and then you have a two-piece fitting set up to where you have this right here, and this fitting is actually just a one-way check valve, similar to what they used on the and still do on the accelerator pump assembly. So we can just stick with that. And then of course you have this coming over here. I think Will said he can investigate in terms of getting these fittings, and we can solder something up. This right here, which is notated as 148, is the rubber tubing. Originally it was silver, and we can probably try to find it. It's more like a silver, it's black tubing with a silver coating. It's not paint, but just kind of like it had a nylon liner that was bonded to it. So depending on how close we want to get to originality, we can go that route. On your vacuum secondaries, I'm noticing you have two die-cast vacuum secondary covers, and included is one Sandcast cover. You'll notate obviously how this has a boss and is drilled and tapped. And then if we can see in here, this is the wrong one, this is a later version. This is the die-cast version that came out directly after the Sandcast. So it still has the boss to where they could drill and tap, which they eventually went away with that whole setup. But we've got this right here, which allows this to kind of somewhat center on. But on the later style, you still have a ridge that's going to have to be cut down. So we can get that taken care of. The only thing is we'll have basically two dissimilar metals. Do I have? Yeah, this is die-cast here. So you may or may not be able to notice it, but
well, we get the anodized.
Find another. We know it's
natural.
All this is all natural.
Natural,
None of it's
okay.
anodized.
Okay.
Well, here
We'll see when
it'll
they
be
get
fairly close.
when we glass beat them. Maybe they'll come out looking good the same.
Now this one, let's see, has quite a bit of corrosion to it. I can clean this up. It's cracked right here, but it's just on the surface, so I can alleviate that crack some to where it's not just going to snap off, and we can still have something to mount it to. So if we don't have any other of these, I thought I had one laying around somewhere. I'll have to dig. I can just clean this up some, trying to get it to a little more of a smooth finish.
Fortunately, it's on the bottom. You can't notice it.
Correct.
So that'll help a little bit.
Okay. After that, in terms of parts, there's that one part to have made for the stop tab. Your jetting, if I can get that squared away. Every other part will be it'll be fairly interchangeable with the die-cast series.
We got about 30 seconds left.
And we'll go from there. But it's good talking with you. Will's cutting me off.
Well, it's a limit on what YouTube lets you upload.
I know, but I'm done.